In the art class, the teacher noticed that there was some dust on the model's leg, so he immediately asked the students to clean it up. The model looked extremely embarrassed. The teacher would scold students on the spot if their paintings were not good. He even said things like, "Rubbish, breasts like flower shacks." When checking the students' homework, the teacher would directly expel students whose works were of poor quality. There was only one young man who handed in a blank piece of paper, and this ordinary-looking man was Leonardo da Vinci, the genius that people would later come to know well. Leonardo da Vinci, a natural perfectionist, didn't think that the model in front of him was the legendary goddess of the hunt, Cynthia. After class, Leonardo da Vinci found the model, Julie, and went to the cheap wooden house that she rented to paint on the spot. When the girl assumed the pose she had in class, Leonardo da Vinci directly refused and said that no matter how an ordinary girl tried to disguise herself, she couldn't pretend to be the goddess of the hunt. He asked Julie to strike the most natural pose. In Leonardo da Vinci's eyes, truth was the best way of expression. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't even satisfied with the simplicity of sketching. At night, he secretly went to the teacher's studio and stole expensive paints to paint Julie's portrait. After finishing the coloring, Leonardo da Vinci found the teacher drinking alone late into the night. The teacher told Leonardo da Vinci that he had recently run into trouble. He had been entrusted by the church to install an 18-ton cross building on the top of the church. If he could succeed, it would surely be a masterpiece of the generation, and his reputation and honor would spread throughout Florence. However, at the end of the 15th century, this task was almost impossible. It was relatively easy to lift the sphere to a high place, but the toe frame couldn't withstand the pressure brought by the rotation. Once the hanging tower above started to swing, the whole building would collapse. After saying this, the teacher looked completely helpless. But Leonardo da Vinci, who was beside him, became deeply interested in the design drawing. Late at night, Leonardo da Vinci lay in bed and couldn't fall asleep. His mind was constantly thinking about how to solve the problems in the design drawing. Until he blew out the candle and watched the slowly rising blue smoke, Leonardo da Vinci suddenly had an inspiration. If something became lighter, there would be no gravity. It would be great if objects could be made lighter. Then Leonardo da Vinci secretly went to the teacher's studio, picked up the design drawing, and started a new design. From the moment he picked up the pen, Leonardo da Vinci seemed to forget about time. Every tiny mechanical structure came back to life under Leonardo da Vinci's skillful hands. The next day, when the teacher saw the redesigned drawing, he couldn't help exclaiming, "This is absolutely impossible." A problem that had troubled him for days and nights had been solved, but he didn't know by whom. On the day of the construction site operation, almost half of the people in the city came to watch, all looking forward to the completion of this trend-century masterpiece. And the newly designed hanging tower was modified and made by Leonardo da Vinci. He used a great number of rolling gears. Originally, it took dozens of strong men to pull an 18-ton heavy object, but now only 3 men were needed. At this moment, the heavy object had reached the highest point, and everyone's heart was in their throat. The original design of the mechanical swing arm had been changed to a sliding track by Leonardo da Vinci, which was unprecedented at that time. Along the sliding track, the heavy object was successfully placed on the top of the church. Everyone started cheering enthusiastically. However, the teacher couldn't manage a smile. He even directly expelled Leonardo da Vinci. Looking at the pile of stolen paints in front of him, the teacher asked Leonardo da Vinci to explain. Leonardo da Vinci just said, "I wanted to paint something that was perfect." But the teacher was determined to expel him. Leonardo da Vinci turned around and left. No one knew that he was the one who had modified that design drawing.